17-year-old Devin Guilford was shot and killed during a traffic stop gone wrong. This was near Lansing, Michigan, back in February. His family now filing a federal lawsuit against the county and Sergeant Jonathan Frost, who pulled the teen over for flashing his headlights at the officer's patrol car. Despite being asked 7 times, the teen refused to hand over his driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. The situation escalated. The altercation was captured on the officer's body camera, seen here from the prosecutor's office and on Guilford's cell phone camera. The prosecutor cleared the officer of any criminal wrongdoing. This was back in June, but we have to walk through all of this with CNN political commentator and host of BET News, Marc Lamont Hill, and Harry Houck, CNN law enforcement analyst and retired NYPD detective. So, gentlemen, thank you both for being here. I just want to, before we walk through the video to you, is it legitimate? Apparently the teenager was flashing his brights at the officer because he thought the officer's car had its brights on. Can you pull someone over for that? Is that legal?
If the officer believes it's some kind of a safety issue, the reason why I do it, you know, when you're driving at nighttime and somebody flashes their brights at you, it blinds you temporarily. So the fact that if it blinds you temporarily, you can get involved in a car accident. So I think what the officer was doing was going to just pull him over and tell him not to do that.
So officer pulls him over, and let me show you what happens. Officer pulls him over. He's asking for, let me see your license, proof of insurance, and your registration. This is what happens next.
You have 2 choices. You can hit with the program and start to comply with this traffic stop, or you're going to be taken to jail. Those are your 2 choices. Driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please.
I do not have my license, sir. I am going to get it.
You don't have your driver's license?
I do not have it.
Why is that?
Because I just drove my brother to the church.
You do not have your driver's license on your person, correct?
Yes, I do.
Where is it?
You do not have to see it.
Okay, so to you, just quickly on tone.
He had his driver's license and he don't have his driver's license. All right, the tone right there, he's not complying with the officer. This is where the officer's got to say to himself on a stop like this, why is he not complying with me right now? Now my life might be in danger. Does he have a gun in a car? Did he just commit some kind of a crime? All right, because he had just pulled 3 guys over, had no problem at all. This kid's starting to give him a problem now.
The kid's tone seems, for the most part, calm to me, although he is not at all. He is not complying.
His speech is a little slurry, too.
Mark, your read on this so far?
Well, let me back up, because Harry said some things that aren't exactly true. The officer doesn't, it's in Michigan, according to Michigan law, not what Harry or I think, but according to Michigan law, it's not illegal to flash your brights. There's nothing wrong with flashing your brights. You can't drive with your brights on, which could blind somebody, and Harry's right about that. But you can flash your brights at somebody. That's the law. And the officer was aware that he had a new car.
It's unsafe.
But it's legal. But it's legal. Right. He's correct. Mark's right. Keep going, Mark.
So it's legal. So he hadn't broken the law, number one. Number two, the officer acknowledged that he had new car lights and they were super bright, and that lots of people were flashing him. So he was aware that the problem wasn't other people. It might have been him. I mean, if you've pulled over now 4 people because they think your lights are on, because remember, if they're flashing him, it's because they were blinded.
None of them had a problem.
Yeah, but my point is, if you keep pulling people over for something that's not legal, that's not illegal, then that's also a problem. Now, I can see from the beginning that let me finish my point, Harry. I didn't interrupt you at all. I concede completely that this kid could have made this a lot easier, that he was difficult, that he kept saying things that may or may not have been true. I do think the stop was illegal and this was preventable, but no, you're right, the kid could have made this thing easier, but that doesn't mean that he has a right to die.
I want to watch a little bit more on the point about the brights. They talk more about it, and to your point, Mark, this is what the officer explains.
You had your brights on, sir. I'm not lying to you. I was just doing that to be polite. I didn't want you to flash someone and have someone go off the road and crash, you know?
Do you realize that if you'd have complied with this traffic stop, it would have gone a whole different way for you?
Yes, I do, but yes.
Do you realize that I would have explained to you that I'm driving a brand new vehicle tonight? I have been flashed a couple times because these headlights are new. I've stopped a couple vehicles tonight, and no people have gotten citations. But those headlights are brand new. They're brighter on that vehicle than they are in normal cars.
They're super bright. You need to get new ones.
I mean, the studio laughs. I mean, it's incredibly serious because we're about to see how this whole thing escalates, but...
Exactly here, you know, and the fact that if this kid had complied, and we're talking about this all the time now, these incidents where these people don't comply always escalate to another thing, and then the officer gets blamed because of the escalation.
Let me jump quickly, because it goes from, and yes, he's not complying and he's asking over and over, but then it quickly moves to this.
You do have to give me your driver's license.
2372 is requesting
No. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. I'm telling you right now. No. Hey! You're going to get tased. Do not touch me, officer!
So I am curious, if you are pulled over and still, if you're not complying, but if this officer is going in and starts opening up your car door, is that lawful?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because you're supposed to comply with me. You are now being stopped, okay? You're being detained. You must comply with my reasonable requests at the time. And this is where he's asking him to get out of the car. And why is he asking him to get out of the car? Number one, to probably protect himself, the officer, because now he's not complying. He's not giving me a driver's license. He's not giving me a registration. These are all misdemeanors. Now I'm pulling you out. I would have done the same thing this officer did. I would have pulled him right out of that car.
But, Mark, at the same time, you can
have shot him?
understand why
Hold on,
this teenager
that's another
is
story
hesitant.
here, Mark, the shooting. This kid decides he wants to fight the police officer. The
Listen,
the officer feels that his life is in danger. The fact that this kid is fighting with me now, if he overcomes me,
We don't
he
know
can
if
take
he
my
feels
weapon
like
and
his
kill
life
him.
is in danger. I don't know if we can jump to that conclusion yet.
Well, you can
until
see
we
that.
get eventually.
When we
Go ahead,
get to
Mark,
that.
quickly, and then I
No,
want
you
to.
can't.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Mark.
you can.
Look, you can see what the officer's thinking and feeling. That's absurd.
You
I
see
think
the
you feel
officer's
officer wasn't
injury.
in danger.
I know because I've been through it. You haven't. I've been through it.
So
How
you're
many of
saying
these have
every
you
officer-
been through, Mark? None.
I've been pulled over by many cops. You haven't let me answer. I've been the driver many times. How many times have you been a driver where you felt like you were going to be shot by a police officer because of a reasonable request or a reasonable act of resistance to the police officer?
This kid is not
Every
acting
time you do
reasonable
something
at all. This kid is not. 99.9% of people that pull over by police officers give the driver's license, registration, insurance card. I do. You will. Brooke will, and so is everybody else I know.
Time out. I just want to show everyone how this ends because we're
right.
discussing, and it ends very quickly. Eventually, he gets out of the car. Let me just show you. Gets out of the car. He's tased. It's ineffective, and finally, it's disturbing to watch. But the officer shoots.
Get your hands behind your back.
Hey, officer, what are you doing?
Get your hands behind your back. You're under.
Officer.
Ow!
He's getting tased now.
Getting tased now. Then the young man jumps up, punches the officer. We have a picture of his bloodied face. Ultimately, shoots and kills him.
Right.
7 shots.
Right. Well, if he gets killed with one shot, that's good? I mean, it doesn't matter.
No,
how
it's
many,
not good.
How many shots an officer has.
I don't think anybody's
If that
saying
officer feels his life is in danger, all right? When you're having an altercation with one person and you're only one guy there, and you can see he's resisting there, he's not doing what the officer tells him, the taser did not work correctly, all right? Now they're getting in an altercation. Now, what if you overcome me? I've seen the injuries in this officer. His face is completely bloody after this incident.
It is bloody,
Right?
and we're
And
talking
of
to the
course-
family's attorney. There is 2 sides, obviously, to every single story. We know that the officer's been cleared of any kind of wrongdoing by the prosecutor, but the family filing suit, they have a whole other perspective. We have those attorneys on coming up a little later this morning.
And Brooke, you know
Quickly,
if this
quickly.
guy was black, this would have been a whole different situation we're talking about. Mark would be talking about racism. Right
He
now.
would have got shot sooner.
Wow.
Well,
That was a grenade you just
Yeah,
threw.
right.
Yeah,
We
I
have to
think
go.
that's been unreasonable.
We'll come back. Harry, Marc Lamont Hill,
Okay,
thank you
wow.
so much.